Hey, lovely. It's Anne. Hope you guys are well. I'm here to share a little story about me and about how I failed in my first year of business. Um, it's taken a bit of time for me to pluck up the courage to come on live and share the ins and outs of this story. So just bear with me. Hey, Dom. Just sharing my story on how I failed in my first year of business, the kind of thing that we love to talk about. Not. So, right, where shall I start? Here's the thing, right? So, strategy has always been my superpower. Even when I worked in the corporate world, I worked in projects, I worked in business strategy, I helped people, large corporates with their business planning and strategy and so on. So that is my strength. And then, I was working in consulting and I was tired and close to burnout, and I quit and joined my husband in his business. I quit to take a bit of a break from everything because I really was super close to a burnout. I was working crazy hours. I had two young kids at home. My values were in conflict. I was a bit of a mess. And then I don't know how to do nothing. And so I joined my husband in business. And I invited myself into his business and started helping him. I didn't really know what I was doing then, but I learned a lot of stuff around Google AdWords and lead generation and all that kind of thing. And previously all of that was outsourced, and we brought it back in-house. And before long, seriously, I had more leads than the business could deal with. And we were making multi-seven figures, and Michael would say to me, Anne, stop the advertising, turn off Google, it's just too much, I can't keep up. So that was kind of an amazing position to get to pretty quickly. But it was almost like I fluked it, right? Because there was no pressure. There was, I wasn't the boss, it was Michael's business. I had that sort of employee mentality, and I didn't really even see the possibility of failing. It was just kind of, I'll give it a shot, and if it doesn't work out, I'll go back to corporate. And there was just no pressure. I just got on with it. Then everything changed, right? Because then after a few years of working with Michael and the business was humming beautifully, I kind of thought, this isn't really, is this it? I want more. I saw a coach myself for the first time, and actually I'd seen the coach already. So I've got my story a little bit mixed up. I'd seen a coach already, and that's when she's the one that pointed out my values were in conflict and so on. So I'd had that sort of insight into coaching, and I was really into personal development, and I was sort of learning a heap of different stuff around that. And then I studied life coaching, that's right, while still working in our business. Then I kind of went, you know what, I want more. I want to start a business, and I want to help other women just like me. Because I was super lucky. I felt very blessed that I was in a position to work around my family. I had this freedom and flexibility that I had yearned for, and now I had it. And I guess something about me that's always been there, and it's there still today, but sometimes I have to bring it out to the surface, is I'm a bit of a risk taker, and I do back myself. I've sort of done some big things. My friends call me, well, they used to tease me because they'd sort of go, oh my gosh, Anne, you'd think of something and then you'd do it, whereas most people would think about it for a lot longer. So that is kind of part of my personality trait, which I think isn't often a common trait that women have. So I do feel quite lucky about that. But things were still different. When I started my business, things were different because suddenly now it's me and I'm selling myself. And even though I knew I had, firstly, I wanted the piece of paper, and I was talking to a lovely, beautiful lady about this offline as well. And so, you know, I couldn't start till I had that piece of paper. And so that was around being an accredited coach. And then so many more issues came up, but I just want to super quickly just check what Dom said here. I'm currently giving my business an overhaul because I feel like I'm not aligned with the previous business model. Cool. Well, look, and that's an evolution that happens with business, right? Because when you first start, you don't always know exactly what you want your business to look like. So the fact that most of us have started is massive, and we should really give ourselves a big pat on our backs for starting, because some people don't even get there, right? So so that's great, Dom. And you know, my business is evolving every day too. But that very first year, I got so caught up in my head. Am I good enough? Can I do this? What if people don't like me? What if my clients don't get results? My mindset was awful. It really was. In hindsight, I didn't even know that was the issue, but essentially I got caught up in, you know, creating this beautiful website and, you know, starting my Facebook group and writing content and you know, all those things are important, but they're not bringing in the clients, right? Because I wasn't asking anyone to work with me. I wasn't asking, you know, I wasn't selling. I basically was just kind of doing busy work and hiding because I was scared, right? I was stuck in fear, and I was sort of on a bit of a roller coaster ride too. So one day I would do a Facebook Live, and then I'd kind of potentially hear crickets, I don't know. And I'd think, oh, well, that didn't work, so I won't do that. And so then I'd sort of download the next 15 free opt-ins from 15 experts and start looking at all the different suggestions they had. And I completely lost who I was, what skills and knowledge I knew I had. Strategy is my superpower, and still I wasn't trusting myself, and I was no longer backing myself, and I was just following every shiny object that was out there and looking for the magic bullet. I had a coach who would actually say to me, "Anne, you're looking for the magic bullet. There is no magic bullet. You have everything that you need. It's your mindset. That's the only thing that's stopping you." So I just wanted to share that with you, because as soon as I started working on my mindset, things shifted. They really did. Like, don't get me wrong, I did still attract the occasional client. So Dom is saying that was your problem as in mindset. Let me know, because this is just such a common issue, right? Because we know we can do it. We've done it for our employers, and we can, you know, I did it for my husband in his business. It's our family business, but somehow it was different when it was me and when it was my business. And yeah, and so, you know, all those beliefs and stories sort of come up and we get in our own way of doing what we need to do to get the results. So I do want to share that with you, because once I started working on my mindset, and really I'm still working on my mindset every single day, and I'm not done with working on my mindset. So and I just wanted to kind of say, don't give up, because it does get easier. And as soon as you crack that code and you start believing in yourself, you start believing in your value, you start believing that you have a gift, you have talent. It's never about the talent, it's never about your skills, but it's about your mindset, and that is what's stopping you. Strategy is important, like systems, strategy and support, I believe, are essential also to fast track your success, to stop you from making mistakes. And, everyone eventually can get there, but often businesses fail in the early days, and men and women end up sort of returning to employment and jobs because they just can't get past that point where they get that steady income. So my message is, don't give up, seek the support, work on your mindset, and do what it takes, because you clearly have the talent, you have a gift, and the world needs you. It's just you're getting in your own way. So Dom says, I have skills and I wasn't utilizing them. Okay, yeah. So was it to do with visibility and putting yourself out there, Dom? Because, that's the thing. Like, I see so many women who are caught up in the busy work and they're hiding behind their laptops and they're working on their websites and they're looking at externally, right? They're looking at what everybody else is doing and comparing themselves, and not actually working on being visible, being consistent, putting themselves out there, telling people about what they do, asking for the sale, and just being consistent. So for those that don't know, I am a business mentor and I help people with mindset too. I studied life coaching and I have accreditation in that. But of course, that's not to say that I didn't have mindset issues myself, and I'm still working through them. So if you'd love any support at all, if you're feeling stuck in your business, reach out. I'm offering free strategy sessions. Seriously, in 30 minutes, I can pinpoint exactly what you need to do to move your business forward. There's no pressure to work with me. There's no hard sell. If, at the end of the conversation, you feel like you want to find out more about how you can work with me, then that's possible. But honestly, I don't even pitch unless you want to know, you want that extra support and you feel like you need that. So I would love to talk to you. There is a link if you'd like to get on a call. Let me see. I'm so passionate about health and mindset, and I kind of got lost, if that makes sense. Yeah, totally. The thing is, we can often help others, but it's harder to help ourselves, right? Even though we know what the issues are, it's often through reflection and through sitting back and like looking at what's going on that we realize. So I've been very fortunate that I have had my other business on the side all along that's been, supporting us, paying the mortgage and so on. And, I didn't have to return to my corporate world, and I hope never to have to. But yes, I'd love for you guys too, to not stay stuck, to just keep pushing through every little step. You know, think about what you're working on and think, is this going to help me get my next client? That's the question that you should be asking yourself when you get caught up, looking at the next shiny object, or downloading or watching the next webinar, or downloading the next opt-in, or whatever else it is that you might be doing that's taking up your time but not bringing you the clients. So I do help with strategy and lead generation, and if that is something you feel you could benefit from, click on the link, book in a free strategy session with me, and we can go from there. Otherwise, I hope this live was helpful, and if you have any questions or comments, just drop them below. Thanks, guys. Bye.